Okay, I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and assume you've seen Wreck-It Ralph. It came out like 10 years ago. For you to have not seen this, I would honestly be very surprised. But in case you have, okay, who am I kidding? It's on Disney Plus. You've definitely seen it. Wreck-It Ralph has to be one of the most forgettable movie franchises because literally I found next to zero people to talk about it with until Dan TDM comes out with his whole, oh my god, I voiced for Ralph breaks the internet. The plot of the film centers around this bulky boy Ralph and him being tired of being the bad guy. Relatively simple plot. Despite Ralph's attempts to make friends with the people of his game and other people in the game lobby, everyone shuns him because of the role he's taken up in society. I mean, it's smart for them to be wary, but in all honesty, it's pretty obvious he wants to change. But even if I was put into this situation, I'm nearly 100% confident I would be twice as wary considering the amount of times he destroyed the building. But there is one small problem with them being scared of him. They all know that they're in a game. Like, literally, they get annoyed when Ralph disappears later in the movie. So what does this mean exactly? They literally all hate him because of his job, and Ralph doesn't see this as fair, so he's desperate to change that. Ralph isn't the only hated bad guy either. A bunch of characters from other games attend like a little counseling session where they discuss their problems and such, and they all relate to Ralph. And this guy who talks about scissoring people as well as the bad guy's special quote really gives us the whole takeaway from the film.
I am bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me.
As Ralph walks back to his game, we get some vital information from Mr. Queefhog here. Death outside your own game is permanent. We also get to see Ralph's good side as he gives a cherry to Q*bert, which is honestly pretty cool to see. He's not really a bad person, just a quote-unquote villain. This gets to the point that when he tries to be nice to the certified good guy of the game, he's still treated like ass. Ralph destroying the cake is a bit uncalled for, but after 30 years of this sort of treatment, I can see why he'd be pissed. Then, what I think is the guy who runs the hotel says, Ralph, if you can win a medal, I'll give you the penthouse. Ralph steals this guy's armor and infiltrates another game in order to win a medal, and unknowingly causes his game to be stuck with an out-of-order paper, which is what the people call having gone turbo. And when this happens, the people start to realize that they need Ralph, otherwise their game is going to get unplugged. Once he gets his medal, Ralph, being the absolute monkey brain he is, activates a Cybug egg and falls into an escape pod, bringing the Cybug to a game called Sugar Rush. So if you think about it, everything that happened in this movie is a direct result of Ralph baby raging about wanting to be a good guy. Stuff happens and then he meets this infant Vanellope, who's a brat and steals his medal. Ralph tries reasoning with her and then she goes full Karen and skips off into the sunset. And we are also going to ignore the fact that there was no sunset here. Vanellope later goes on to try and enter a race with said gold medal, and Ralph shows up looking like an ugly green monster trying to get the medal from her. Then we get this gem of a delivery from King Candy.
Power Bill, that glitch cannot be allowed to race.
Ralph talks to King Candy and explains that he was trying to get this medal from that little glitch, and King Candy responds, bad guys don't win medals, Lamel, and Ralph is like, oh yeah, I did because I went to Hero's Duty, and the King gets spooked, and we get like the third mention of Turbo in this movie. I'm starting to think that this Turbo character is important. We get some boring exposition about how Ralph's medal will remain code until someone wins the cup, and then we get some threat from King Candy about locking Ralph away. Clearly he's evil, but like, alright.
Chocolate. I hate chocolate.
He hates chocolate. Some underage girls bully Vanellope, and Miss Pride Month here destroys her cart. Ralph sees this and feels bad. Then one of them pushes the glitch over, so Ralph gets super ooper duper pissed and scares the children off. Ralph has a talk with Vanellope, and she makes a bunch of duty sounding like duty jokes, and Ralph is getting irritated. She says that she needs a cart, then calls Ralph fat, so he goes Super Saiyan on a jawbreaker, and she's all like, bro, you're never gonna break it. Holy crap, he actually broke it. This war hero lady questions Felix on why Ralph went AWOL, and he replies, bro, I wish I knew, but I just don't. And what I have to say to this is, first off, you do, and second off, he literally told you last night. This is entirely your fault, Felix. Anyways, Felix mentions Turbo for like the quadrillionth time in this movie. Okay, writers, I get it. Turbo is important. You can stop shoving it down my throat. Here's some handy exposition about Turbo being once a really liked arcade game, and then another racing game got plugged in, so Turbo invaded that one, which resulted in both games getting unplugged. Felix and the military war hero lady, or wait, what's her name? Anyway, they get stuck in quicksand and they find out that punching people is funny, so Vines help them out of the pit and want them to get married. Wait, why am I talking about? Okay, this is besides the point. Ralph and Vanellope sneak into a facility where they build cars, and we see this gem of a sign. Ralph breaks all his values on breaking things by making a car over the course of this minigame. Despite this cart clearly being a mistake, Vanellope loves it for some reason. Ralph smells for like the second time in the entire movie, so that's cool as well. People come to arrest him, so they run away over this sweet chase scene. How are Ralph's fingernails intact here? They should be shattered by now. Like, some of the shenanigans he's pulling, like, holy. They escape into Diet Cola Mountain, and King Candy is like, find that stupid glitch, she can't be allowed to race. Ralph and Vanellope have a discussion about how she never took the driver's test and has no chance of winning the race.
Wise guy, I know I'm a racer. I can feel it in my code.
Optimism. Not optimism. Ralph explains why he wanted the medal, and Vanellope is like, oh, I see. It'd be like for that me, what? Oh, I see. It'd be like that for me too, bud. Ralph in his anger activates Diet Cola and Mentos, which definitely won't be important later. Okay, how is it that Vanellope has a better living situation than Ralph? Ralph asks why she can't leave the game, and she replies, you stupid motherfucker. I can't leave the game because I'm a glitch. Ralph goes Super Saiyan with rage and tears up on the floor, causing Vanellope to say, what the hell, man? But it turns out he was making a track for her to practice driving on. Ralph pulls crap out of nowhere, explaining to Vanellope what pedals are and fails to explain the clutch. Bonding driving learning montage. Vanellope is a natural and goes onto the main track, glitches up into the air and causes a volcanic reaction. Definitely won't be important later. Montage over. King Candy be stressing out and then walks into what I think is the living code of the game.
Oh, the code is the sweet lifeblood of the game.
Yep, King Candy goes and gets the medal back from the code, and then it's revealed that Vanellope is outside the code, thus confirming our suspicions about King Candy having something to hide. Felix has no social skills with women. Military chick gets flashbacks with her husband that never existed, then abandons Felix, conveniently in front of the castle. This green turd gets Felix's hopes up and then locks him away. More bonding. King Candy shows up out of nowhere.
You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
Puns. King Candy gives Ralph his medal and explains that if Vanellope races, the game will get shut down and she'll be trapped inside because glitch. Ralph gets a homemade medal from Vanellope and our hearts sink. Then Ralph talks to the glitch and is like, bro, you can't race. She finds the medal and is like, where the frick did you get this? Look, you can't race. No race. Race bad. Vanellope refuses to listen, and Ralph, caring about her, breaks her car in order to save her, thus absolutely destroying their relationship. When rewatching this scene, when you're older than 5, you can really tell that Ralph on the inside is like, fuck! Ralph goes back home and finds the hotel abandoned and talks to Jean. Jean is like, he caused all of us to leave, and Ralph realizes that he messed up miserably. Ralph spots Vanellope on the side of the game and is like, holy crap, she's supposed to be in the game. Then he talks to Green Turd over here, who reveals that King Candy tried to delete Vanellope's code. Basically, King Candy locked up the memories of the citizens of the game so no one knows the truth. The only thing that Green Boy here knows is that if she crosses the racing line, her code resets. Wow, this Simon got super fertile.
Why do I fix everything I touch?
Because you touched it with your hammer, idiot. Ralph rescues Felix. Ralph explains his life story after Felix complains about having a bad day. They bond, and then Felix fixes the cart. Ralph rescues Vanellope, and now race time. All notes from the movie aside, I'm a serious big fan of the animation they did for this race. It looks really cool, I swear.
I told you, you're just an accident waiting to happen.
How did they manage to make someone's voice sound so incredibly annoying? Whatever, she was a failure anyways. Blondie over here sucker punches Ralph and is like, the cybugs are coming!
Multiplied.
No, it died in the taffy swamp, believe me.
Ralph, you sure have your moments, don't you? Vanellope and King Candy square off while Ralph gets gangbanged by a bunch of cybugs. Then it's revealed that King Candy was Turbo all along. Absolute shocker.
I did not reprogram this world to let you and that Holocaust riddled warthog take it away from me!
Another gem. She now controls the power of the glitch. Finally, he's dead. Ralph forgets the most vital piece of information and then remembers it at the worst time. Vanellope accepts death and Ralph is like, alright, bet, and pulls out the most
Batshit insane!
move of all time and goes to have Diet Cola Mountain erupt. Ralph pulls some epic heroics and then Turbo comes back out of nowhere merged with the Cybug.
Have some candy!
Okay, we get it, he's evil, shut the hell up. And here is the best scene in the movie.
It's game over for both of you.
No. just for me.
Here we can see Ralph display some insane heroics that aren't really befitting for a bad guy, and now we get to hear once again the best line in the movie.
I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me.
Genuinely, this scene showcases the message of the movie. People who seem bad can be good, or just don't judge a book by its cover. Plot armor. Now Turbo dies, thank you movie writers for that,
It's chocolate. I love chocolate.
and Ralph gets over his hatred for chocolate. Felix is so incredibly awkward, but it pays off. Vanellope crosses the finish line and her code gets fixed, the citizens get their memories back, and now everyone's happy. Democracy. Conclusion with Ralph accepting his situation and making the best out of it by being friends with people. This movie is probably one of the greatest animated movies released in the 2010s. It has a really good story with likable characters apart from these two, and it even has democracy. All jokes aside, the message of the movie is probably one of my favorites because of the way they handled it, and then the sequel ruined all of that. But that's a story for another day.